Having discussed what's going on, of course, in Israel and the Gaza Strip and what's going on in the Middle East, and since it started, I only think I did a podcast last week, and it was well discussed. It was going on. I really wanted to be careful and thoughtful about what I said in regards to the situation. I'm gonna read a quote. Well, not a quote. I'm gonna read a statement from an anonymous person that I got permission from to read it. I know this individual, and here's the quote. And again, to anybody Jewish, I'm gonna apologize in advance for there are gonna be some words that I just flat out butcher. I thought a lot this past weekend, about what it means to be Jewish. I thought about how Oy vey Mesuganef, and mitzvah were common terms in my home. Again, I apologize for butchering some of those terms. I thought about the gifts I got for Hanukkah. I was about to say Hanukkah, Chanukah as a child, Chanukah as a child, the candles I lit, the dreadsdales I spun. I thought about the books I read about the Holocaust, the fear I felt as a Jew. I thought about the Exodus, the story of Jews escaping slavery in Egypt. I thought about the story of my grandfather writing his cousin during the Holocaust, a Jew in Poland, and how the letters stopped one day, how my grandfather never heard from his cousin again. I thought about my visit to Yad Vashem, a museum in Jerusalem that depicts the horrors of the Holocaust. I thought about the last exhibit in that museum. I walked through a trail in complete darkness, and I saw names of children who were killed in the Holocaust light up on the walls around me. I walked out of that exhibit sobbing. The pain, the anger, and sadness I felt in that moment was overwhelming. I felt proud to be a part of a people who had overcome. But more than anything, through all of these thoughts, I thought about how Palestinians live in the world's largest open air prison, how Israel controls their electricity, their water, and their food. Thought about how by the end of today, Israel will have killed over 3,000 Gazans, at least 1,000 being children, Gazans, excuse me. I thought about how the world cried for Israel, but was silent for decades as Palestinians were murdered, and continue to be silent as the death toll in Gaza grows. As Jews, we have a duty to make sure that no one is ever murdered or killed because of what they believe, what they look like, or where they are born, to make sure that what happened to us happens to no one else. Many people in Gaza die simply for being born there. Right now, Palestinian homes and hospitals are being bombed with families in them. Children are dying. And as Jews, we have a duty to advocate against that now and forget forever. And if you claim to be an ally to Jewish people, you have that duty too. That perspective is, to me, I couldn't you couldn't have said it better to me. And the problem with versus that perspective versus what you've seen on mainstream media, or versus what you've heard in general on this internet, with a bunch of people just have no clue what the hell they're talking about. Zero clue, haven't read anything, there's no substance. It's all social media bullshit. That perspective, there was humility, there was empathy, there clearly was experience. Person that has been to Jerusalem has been exposed to a number of things, clearly well read, clearly just, again, a lot of thought. This was the one, two, three, four paragraphs. This is long. This was a lot of words. Clearly, there was you could just read it and tell how much thought went into it. And what I've seen throughout the course of this situation is society, America leading the way, being so quick to pick a side. No, we stand with Israel. Cool. You can stand with Israel, but what about the innocent Palestinians that are killed? Women, children, innocent people who just they're not fighting in the war, who are not fighting in the war, or who have no part of this. So I don't I stand myself with humanity. That's what I stand